In this bulletin, aviation students at Avondale College get ready to fly again. Australian atheists fail to get advertising placed on Aussie buses as they have in Britain. And thousands of Adventists in New Zealand, Tonga and Australia start the year by attending regional camps. This is InFocus News. Hello, thanks for joining me. I'm David Gibbons. The Seventh-day Adventist Church's tertiary institution in Australia, Avondale College, is making it possible for students to study aviation again. Avondale College's School of Aviation closed at the end of 2007 due to concerns over long-term financial sustainability. But Avondale College has now entered the final stages of negotiations to sell the School of Aviation to another tertiary institution. Under the new ownership, students will still undertake the same classes conducted by the same teachers at the same venue at Cessnock. Avondale School of Aviation was established in 1977. In the past 7 years, 2 of its students have been awarded the Sir Donald Anderson Trophy for being Australia's highest female achievers in the professional air transport licensing exams. At a time when the world calls out for the end of war and violence, Christians in India's state of Orissa are finally getting some help. India's Supreme Court has ordered authorities there to provide security to thousands of Christians who fled their homes after some of the worst religious violence in decades. Leaders at Serve India Ministries believe the government is taking it seriously. They have placed 20 pastors into the region to plant churches and to encourage baptisms. And whilst the Bibles for the World Ministry are cautious, they plan to distribute at least 50,000 Bibles into Orissa as quickly as possible. With the Middle East very much in the news comes this story about a new baptism centre being constructed at the River Jordan. The Baptist World Alliance plan to open and dedicate the new baptism centre in March. The centre is located on land in the region known as Bethany, where it's believed that John the Baptist baptised Jesus Christ. Jordan's King Abdullah bin al-Hussein designated the land back in 2007, and it joins many other denominational buildings which mark the official baptismal site of Jesus. The centre will be available for use by all Christians that practice believers' baptism by immersion. Daniel Webber, the producer of the Adventist Mission DVDs, has travelled to the South Pacific from the USA to gather and film stories this week. Released worldwide 4 times a year, the Adventist Mission DVD features inspirational stories about the church's outreach efforts around the world.
One of the purposes of our trip here is to get a story and an update on the 2006 offering, which was the mission plane in Papua New Guinea. We want to show our church members around the world where their offerings have gone and how they're being used to change people's lives.
Other stories include church plants in the Aboriginal community of Jigalong and by a 12-year-old girl in Papua New Guinea. Stories currently being filmed in the South Pacific will be released later in the year. According to a Kids Alive report to sponsors, there are now 200 million children classified as orphans around the world. Kids Alive International has been caring for the physical and spiritual needs of orphans since 1916. The Christian charity currently assists 6,500 kids in 17 nations through their residential small home care, community outreach and education programs. But they say that sharing the gospel with these kids is their top priority, even in countries where the gospel isn't popular. 10 Seventh-day Adventist church plant projects in Australia and New Zealand have received almost $300,000 in funding this year. The funds are provided by the Adventist Church in the South Pacific Centre for Church Planting. 5 of the church plant projects have already commenced in Western Australia, Queensland and Sydney. The other plants are located in Northern Australia, North New South Wales and New Zealand. The funding will help support evangelistic activities, equipment costs and Bible workers. The ministry Faith Comes by Hearing has just released 8 new audio drama New Testament recordings. The recordings will be made available to illiterate people groups living in remote places such as Tanzania, the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Mozambique, India and Bolivia. Combined, the 8 language groups represent more than 222 million people on 5 continents. About 70% of the world's population has an oral culture and lives in poverty. And that means printed versions of the Bible are not only unaffordable, but totally meaningless to them as well. Faith Comes by Hearing aimed to record audio Bibles in 2,000 languages over the next 7 years. Popular Christian musician Paul Coleman spent last week speaking to, worshipping with and singing for Australian Seventh-day Adventist tertiary students. Organised by the Adventist Students Association, the convention attracted more than 100 participants to Camp Breakaway on the central coast of New South Wales. Besides daytime activities and seminars, participants attended a nightly program by Paul Coleman. Organisers said the convention was to encourage tertiary students to develop a deeper daily relationship with God. British atheists have been celebrating the appearance of flippant slogans on London buses last week. The campaign, featuring one-liners such as "Sleep in on Sunday mornings" and "Celebrate reason," follows successful attempts by British humanist associations to raise awareness of atheism in England. But atheists in Australia wanting to launch a similar campaign have failed to gain cooperation from Australia's biggest outdoor advertising company, APN Outdoor. Atheists in Tasmania are responding by taking their case to the Anti-Discrimination Board. Thousands of Seventh-day Adventists across the South Pacific have started 2009 attending regional camps. Church members met and worshipped together at campgrounds in Rotorua and Christchurch in New Zealand. Young people met for summer camps in Queensland, Northern New South Wales, South Australia and Victoria, and 600 young people from 8 Pacific Island countries attended a youth congress in Tonga. As part of the program, they were involved in community outreach, distributing food to prisoners and conducting cleanups in public places in the capital city of Nuku'alofa. In Tasmania this week, Adventists are meeting at the Devonport campground for the first time in 3 years. And that's the InFocus news for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm David Gibbons.